Here's a GE Musaphonic model 581 from about 1955. I think they might have listed this as a 54/55 model, so it probably came out in late 54. Anyway, it's a 5-tube AM clock radio, and it's a pretty large set. It's got a nice large speaker here in the center, and of course obviously your clock off to the left and your radio dial off to the right here. Got an external phone hookup and radio, so you can run accessories to the phone jack. This set has a metal chassis with a kind of almost a hybrid design. It looks like and what I mean by hybrid is it looks like they were in transition. It's kind of one of those transition models going from point to point construction to circuit board construction. It does have a metal chassis in there, but it does have a printed circuit board inside. So anyway, this is one of my sets. It came from the estate sale of previous radios I've done in previous videos. It came from the same estate sale in Ohio. So anyway, I will turn it on and demonstrate what the problem is. And as you can hear, we have the same crackling thunderstorm effect that we always seem to have when we have the symptoms of SMD, which are bad mica capacitors and the IF transformers. You can tune around the dial and not pick up anything. Our strongest stations are up on top of the dial here, and I'm not getting anything, not even the station a mile away. So let's pull it apart and see what we can do with it. On this one, I don't think I'm going to film actually doing the IF transformers on this one, because I've done that, covered that on previous videos. I don't think I need to beat that dead horse anymore. Here's the chassis removed from the cabinet. Just a simple 5-tube AA5 setup. It does have a circuit board that's mounted in this metal case. Now GE was nice. I do have to commend them on this. They had plugs on everything that's inside the cabinet. Like the clock is on a plug that plugs right into here behind this transformer. It just plugs in, and so you can just pull the chassis out. And it's just a matter of removing these 4 screws right there in the cabinet. You just remove those 4 screws and it slides right out. You don't have to mess with the clock. That's a separate unit. And of course you remove your 2 front knobs and the chassis slides out. Now I'm going to have to disassemble this metal case here to get inside the chassis there, because they got this thing shielded pretty well, which is a good sign. But it looks like just a matter of removing these 4 screws and possibly some on the back. I don't believe I saw any on the back though. Just those 2 screws on each side. Alright, and here's the cover removed right here. Like I said, it looks like a hybrid design. halfway between point to point and circuit board construction. And looks like we have a split open, about to explode bumble bomb in here. Now, all these paper capacitors are put in here like a kind of like a point to point. They solder down to the circuit board, and all these capacitors will have to be changed, which don't look like there's too many in here. And here's our main filter capacitor. Looks like a 100 and a 100 microfarad and a 50 microfarad dual section electrolytic filter capacitor. I don't recall there being a hum on this. I may check the capacitance on that thing and see how it's doing, and check some of these resistors and see if they've gone up in value. But we'll get to that later. I think, you know, obviously before I apply any more power to this, I'm going to change this across the line bumble bomb here and probably solder in a safety capacitor, put it for that. But other than that, these IF cans look pretty easy to get out. Thankfully, they looks like they put them on a plug here. The only thing to do is to desolder this wire here, and on this second IF can, desolder this wire here, and it should unplug. Okay, it looks like all you do here is just, in order to remove these cans, you just desolder this wire from the first IF transformer, and it looks like that's the only one to do, is desolder that one. And when you get to the second IF transformer, you just desolder this little small jumper wire here, bare jumper wire, and the transformer should just unplug. I also forgot to mention that in the top of the can, the top of the IF transformer, on the upper side of the chassis here, you've got a screw that you have to remove to get that transformer out. And other than that, it just unplugs. Alright, we've got that first IF can done. There's the mica sheet from it. Like I said, I didn't feel the need to film that because, you know, it's pointless to. I've already done previous videos on how to do these. These aren't too bad with these plugs in here. That really saves a lot of work on this. I lucked out on this one. You know, the ones that are soldered to the boards, those are not very, you know, serviceable friendly. So anyway, what I did was I just soldered the caps inside the can. A lot easier than trying to do it out here. There's enough room to get them in there. So yeah, these are kind of similar. The IF cans inside are kind of similar to those I did on that RCA. I think these are made by Rattle or Rattle. Anyway, same manufacturer as the ones I did in that RCA video. So yeah, these have the ceramic base to them with the just the little legs that bend down, and all you gotta do is just bend those legs a couple of times and break them off, and you know, that way it takes everything inside the can out of the circuit. So anyway, I guess we'll move to the second IF transformer. Might as well go ahead and do that one. Most of the time when I do these, usually you do one, you got to do the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and do both of them in one thing. So alright, we got our second IF can done. I got it soldered or plugged in and soldered back in place. So I think the next thing we need to do is change these paper caps. Then after that, I'll perform an alignment on it. Alright, I'm going to show you a trick I do with a lead that's too short. on this capacitor here, this is the original cap. I cut it off and I just tacked the lead on. I twist it and solder it like that in a sort of a spiral, and then I just slide my tubing back over it. In this case it had the tubing, or I would add it, and the lead that long, I'll just re-slide that back over it. And anyway, this capacitor went all the way from the first audio tube to the this potentiometer over here, which looks like tone control. So anyway, that's what I normally do with them when they're too short. Okay, I got this capacitor with the extremely long lead replaced, and I had to replace that 4 resistors here in here because they were all out of whack. I got this, replaced this 4700 ohm. It was reading about 5500 ohms, and then I replaced this 470k ohm going from the first audio to the 50C5 output, and it was 470 is reading about 560. Then this 150 ohms reading about 179 ohms, replaced that one. 470k ohm here was reading about 520 something ohms, or k ohms, and I replaced that one. 68 ohm reading about 80k, or 80 ohms, not 80k, my lord. So with that being said, we've got all the caps changed, and I think we're about done here. This filter capacitor seems fine. All the other resistors are pretty much in check. I think we might want to check the tube, but I'm not going to do that on camera. I've done that 1,000 times with different other radios, so I think we're about ready to go back together here and put it back in the cabinet, check it out, and see if it works. Alright, I'm going to do a quick alignment on this thing. Yeah, that one was off. Okay, I thought since we pretty much got everything done, we'd check these caps for leakage, these old ones. This is a 0.2 at 400 volts. We'll see how bad it is. We're going to be paying attention to this light over here. You hit about 200 volts, it starts flashing. I've definitely seen worse. When you get up above 300, it's pretty leaky. Okay, and we have another 0.2 at 400 volts. I just about cut the lead off on that one, too short to even check it, but I got it clamped, so I don't want to move it around too much. See how leaky this one is. Oh yeah, I hadn't even got to 200 volts and it's already leaking pretty bad. start really cooking it, it'll. Well, we're at 350 volts and we got a pretty much a steady flash, so yeah, definitely not good. Alright, next up we got a 0.047 at 200 volts. Oh yeah, I ain't even got to 100 volts yet and we're already flashing. That thing's leaking like crazy. Next up we got a 0.05 at 400 volts. I ain't even got to about 10 volts and we're already flashing. Oh man, yeah. By the time I get to about 150 volts, we're already steady. Let's cook it a little bit, see if it blows apart. Man, when you crank it up, that thing is just steady, like, woo, that thing's bright. Yep, definitely bad, no good. Next one, we got a 0.05 at 400 volts. Oh yeah. Just a little over 100 volts now and I'm already getting a steady flash. I hadn't even got to 200 volts and it's steady. Not even quite to 300 and it's just steady. So yeah, that one's definitely leaky. And I just wanted to demonstrate we've got an eye opening on a brand new good capacitor right at 5. That's the way a good capacitor is supposed to test. It's a 0.47, so it's just basically right on 5. Let's check a bad capacitor. Not getting any eye opening really. Got a little bit right there. Just a little bit right in there, but very faintly. A little bit of eye opening right there. That's about double the value of what it should be, but just barely. Say 0.47 at 200 volts. So yeah, bad. Alright, got it all back together and working. There's some lightning storms in the area, so there's going to be the sound of that in here.
You won't get away this time.
You couldn't hit the broadside.
But I'm going to cut taxes big league, and you're going to raise taxes.
There's a weather thing going off locally, so definitely got some storms in the area. No skip rolling in. It's the middle of the day, or DX.
Essentially, takeaways. Put yourself in situations where you can shorten the field for your offense and it can be good.
The camera's interfering with the zone.
We are going to win Florida so big. It'll be amazing. This is a move.
I ain't no youngster like Stumpy here. The mountain's getting harder to climb every year.
Alright, there's my 1955 GE Musaphonic playing again. Hopefully it'll last a few more decades.
Much in the mood for joy.
Thanks for watching.
What I just seen, no firm.
What'd you see?